Alright guys, Supreme Kami here, so finally make time to do the review for the Bill Strike full package here. So in terms of the full package here, we do have in total 8 parts here. So we have 4 parts that are with EXQ and then 4 part with part trace. So in terms of, as per usual, if you guys are farming out these parts, definitely only go for the 3-star version of it because you can obviously upgrade for it. I would rather have you guys use the other coins to exchange for some of the goodies that are under the item tabs up here. So that is pretty much the method that I'll go about that, because like spending it on this one, it takes so much. Like I'm not gonna drop 400 of these coins to farm out each of these parts when I can just farm it up easily with these over here. Max out portrait level 10, EX level 10. So only buy the 3-star version, and then if you guys do want to upgrade it, you want to use it potentially, you can definitely upgrade it. But if you just want to have it sitting at 3-star, that's totally fine, just for the collection purposes. So let's take a look and see how the Build Strike actually looks like in its entirety. So this is how it looks like, man. This overall design never gets old. Like even the first time seeing it, like back in 2013, just having that Strike Gundam as the base with all those new armors like accessory does look very appealing. So but here we are, this is what we're looking at, and then the main things we're looking at is obviously going to be that backpack, because that is going to be our new melee counter EX skill. So that's definitely very excited to take a look and see how it works. So in terms of overall stat, this time around I didn't pop it up to the I didn't apply 2 red marks or 2 gold marks because I didn't have enough of those to farming up. So that's why we're just gonna take a look at it right now. So right now it's looking, obviously shot is gonna be looking a little bit better because we don't even have melee weapons, so we can't really gauge how good it can be. But overall it's not too bad, right? Pro tag is definitely activated already, so that's good. So if you guys are still trying to work on your war tag gray for pro tag, this is definitely gonna be the best suit to do that for, because I believe all these part here actually just sell pro tag. Yeah, look at that, 7 part over here, so you can get roughly about 7 part increase if you guys are still working on that. So that's definitely gonna be very good. So let's take a look at the overall stuff, like the stat first, and then we'll kind of portrait and see how it looks like. So wow, that's a pretty good spread of shot attack for sure. That's pretty good. In terms of your melee department, it's obviously not gonna be that good. EX wise, we do have a head Vulcan, and then this week around I may plan to do a video talking about what happens if I use full on Vulcan on Perfect Strike Freedom, or not Perfect Strike Freedom, just Perfect Strike Gundam in the new multi-mission match. I feel like it could be a very entertaining one because like you guys know Vulcan is obviously not going to be your best EX2, but I wonder if I buff it, like what will happen, right? So planning to do something like that later this week when we do have it. So that's that. Not bad overall for the head. So pro tech for computer. So for computers, obviously not going to be that great, but in terms of, let's say, the pro tag is obviously going to be good. Do keep that in mind. We do have link attribute throughout every part, so this one you can get for urban area, but obviously for urban area is kind of mid anyway, so you would not be using that. But in terms of the stat, that is going to be a quick comparison, so obviously not going to be too compelling compared to your new Wolfer, just because of the stat distribution is definitely a lot more better. So alright, so moving over to the torso, let's see what we have. So stat wise is armor, I would definitely say it's not too shabby, so I'll give it that. Melee and then melee defense, definitely pretty good, so definitely love to see that. In terms of the shot department, it is going to be lacking a little bit in terms of that shot defense, so that's unfortunate in a way. But overall pretty good spread in a way, so pro tech, and then for computer once again. And then in terms of the actual portrait, we do have when operated in auto or on auto, EXQ power boosted by 30%. So this is technically very usable. You can just slap this onto any build, auto it, and there you go. So not too bad. But I would definitely not want it to be an auto. Like they could definitely throw in any other condition but auto, just because I feel like if you guys are doing any event, or let's say those story event that may have like those specific condition, I feel like I want to be able to manually control first, but other than that, this is still a very good portrait, just a free, like this is pretty much like a free EXQ boosting meter in a sense, right? So definitely can't go wrong. But I definitely like the condition to be a little bit more lenient if possible. but overall it's still pretty good. So let me do check the original one and just kind of see what we have back then. Wow, a flat out damage output. Woo, man, we came a long way. That's good. At 80% or less, my gosh, we playing one of those games. That's a very bad condition there. Yeah, this is very poor. So if you talk about bad condition, this one goes down the drain for sure. So style wise on this one, definitely pretty horrendous overall. And then this one does have for urban area once again. So all right, so moving over to the arm part, let's see what we have. Style wise, it's definitely pretty good. It's not bad. Like you do have a pretty good spread of melee attack and melee defense, so that's gonna translate very well. Shot attack is somewhere up there as well, so no complaints. And shot defense, not so much. Protect and for computer once again, and then portrait wise, Outfighter EXQ boosted by or EXQ power boosted by 25%, so that is very good. Outfighter is definitely going to be a must run if you guys are using any melee build. It's either you go Outfighter or Infighter, so this one having Outfighter is definitely pretty solid. I wouldn't call this anything of a bad restriction because in a melee build, you obviously do want to activate a appropriate melee AI pilot job license, so that's pretty good. Let me do check the original one. I believe the original one is pretty bad as well. Stat wise, obviously not going to be anything that's comparable. And this one is a crit rate boosted. Okay. That's terrible. This one does have for urban area once again. Okay, I'll leave with that. You know, obviously the link attribute 3% all power boosted, but once you do get 2 more additional points, meaning if I upgrade this one either or to no, actually upgrade both of these to 6-star, you can get up to a 6% all power boosted. So that's going to be good for sure. But yeah, this one is definitely pretty solid for sure. No complaints on that one. Alright, moving over to the leg, let's see what we have. So stat line is definitely pretty impressive overall. Melee attack, melee defense, definitely looking pretty solid for a welfare. And shot attack is pretty balanced out with your melee actually. So that's they're actually the same value. Okay. In terms of the overall shot defense, pretty much not even there. You don't even see anything. So this one does actually give you that premium Vortex combo, Protect and high mobility, definitely really solid. So you can definitely get some pretty good sub slot on this one for sure. EX skill wise, we do have the double saber rush. Okay, I don't think this is anything of a pretty nice looking EX skill. Just throwing that out there, but not bad I guess. The stat wise, definitely still pretty solid in my opinion. Alright, moving over to the back part, we have the launch build booster. So this one is going to be technically different from your original one. In terms of the execution, this one is countering it, while in terms of the animation, I believe it is still the same, so not going to be anything of a surprise. This one does actually raise or armor recovery up by a 48%, so that is definitely a pretty huge recovery, so that's good. And also going to be raising your own shot attack up by 29%, and then also going to allow you to have some melee skill cooldown instantly down by 33%. So this one is going to work exceptionally well if you guys are trying to do like a dual type building, just because this one does provide some support for melee, so not bad. I'll definitely take this on for like a dual type build setting, and it should perform very well. So this one is looking at an 8 piercing and B power. So B power is definitely going to hit like a truck compared to your original one. So let's take a look at the original one. So this is the original one, and this one have Gundam type instead. Oh, okay, excuse me. Oh, whoa. This one was actually a lot more better. Hello? Oh, wow. This one is giving out, I thought this one was one of those that gives a piercing C power, but wow, never mind. I feel like this one is definitely better because this one is outright giving you a melee and shot attack up by 24%. Yeah, I take my words back. This one is actually better. Wow, what a surprise. What a surprise. Yeah, this one is good, but like, can I actually get some melee race as well? I guess you can call it this one is the replacement, but I would actually love some like legit attack race instead of the cooldown, because this is like only, it's not like that consistent, if you will, right? I'd rather take my attack up over this one, but okay. I mean, I guess you do have the health recovery that the other one does not have, right? So I'll give it that. So stat wise on this one is not too terrible. right? I would definitely say the actual melee stat is just a little bit lower than what I would like to see, because the actual shot attack is quite high compared to the actual melee attack. So I don't know what's going on there. Alright, so let's do take a look at the actual ranged weapons. So this one, not bad for your overall shot base with there. So almost at 9k and does give you a little bit of a good shot defense with there. So wartag wise, very good as well. Protag and high mobility. Oh, this one is only for backward, and it's not too bad, right? Like looking at it from a overall perspective, this one you could definitely make use for searching, so not bad. We'll definitely love the condition to be not too restrictive to a specific EXQ slot, but let's now take a look at the original one and see what was going on. The original was up to 9, almost at 10k, but what? Can't be right now. What? That's crazy. But the portrait in this one is obviously not great at all. Only 17. Like these are bad. Yeah, that's just bad for sure. So let's take a look at the other beam rifle that we have. It's gonna be just the beam rifle itself, not the enhanced version. This one on the other hand does give you melee defense, so that's not too terrible, right? While in computer category, come on now, no, we're not doing Chris out here. No, that's bad. In terms of the war tag, pro tag, and then for computer once again. So if I do have this one on, you can definitely get that for computer activated, and you do get a little bit more stat than the usual. So that's that. 10k for the melee defense already, so that's definitely lovely to see. Let me take a look at the other one, just the older version, and see what was cooking back then. Oh, this one does actually, so the normal beam rifle actually does have a lower stat, but the portrait in this one is obviously a lot more better. You do have some initial EXQ charge to boost by 20%. So in terms of this one is definitely very much helpful for sure. Wow, not that this one is bad. I just think it could be better instead of giving us like a crit boosting, which is not gonna do anything for you guys. So that's unfortunate. And last but not least, we do have the Chobam shield. So this one, wow. Okay, so this one is packing a lot for stats. So in terms of the actual raw melee attack, is pretty low, but you do get carried away by some pretty nifty shot or melee defense. So that's definitely lovely to see for sure. Beam gun, this one is probably a very hard-hitting EXQ that I will probably try out sometime soon in like a EXQ comparison if I will. And then pro tag, and then for computer for your war tag wise. What about the original one? What were we doing back then? So okay, so that is gonna be your overall spread in terms of stat, and this one should be yeah. So they're pretty much the same. So this one, I don't know if they're like technically quote unquote the same damage output. I'm pretty sure they should be, right? I don't know. I should definitely confirm that for sure. But that's gonna be pretty much it in terms of your overall kits. So not bad overall. You do definitely have some pretty useful portrait for sure. So now in terms of the EXQ testing, let me throw this onto a dual cooldown reduction type build and see what the EXQ can do for us here. Alright, so I'm gonna be taking a look at it in the crew multi mission over here. So let's see what do we have. So gonna do this real quick. Oh, just that? Okay, yeah, so that's gonna be the counter mechanics. So unfortunately, we are not gonna be able to see an EXP animation because I don't think any of them are gonna cast any custom EXP anyways. And okay, so that's gonna be a very good AoE attack because that's how it is in terms of the double saber rusher there. So animation wise, definitely not gonna be anything too special, but we are gonna be able to get that all attack going in. So that's good to see. I forgot to equip a saber, a beam saber, whatever. So yeah, not bad. Like you can definitely make an argument that this is a quote unquote EXQ, but in a situation where your enemy does have some attacks that can knock you out, you are going to be at a very vulnerable place that you will get that EXQ knockout for sure. So I mean, it's definitely going to be a good and bad situation. In terms of the beam gun, I believe we are outputting fairly good in terms of like just look at this overall build. This is not like anything of a powerhouse build. This is simply for the cooldown reduction, and we're still outputting fairly well. So that's definitely good to see. Then gonna get this up to get the. Oh, I had this up because. We're still getting a lot more output going on. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say maybe I popped this like I popped it over here, so that's why I was seeing like a 200k plus. But no, actually we seeing more right now. So yeah, I would definitely say the beam gun is gonna hit like a truck if I take this into like a normal build. But yeah, I guess in terms of the overall EXQ wise, they're definitely pretty solid. They're not anything that's bad per se. I should definitely take it onto like a friend battle where my friend will probably potentially execute like a custody EXQ so we can just counter it. Because like there isn't like a situation where I see a lot of like how the actual the custom EXQ looks like, so I do want to see how it looks like firsthand and see what kind of damage you can actually do. So in terms of this one, I'll definitely put this onto a proper shooting build so you guys can get the best output possible and just kind of gauge how it is. Alright, in the friend battle right now, so gonna pop that limber break real quick. In terms of popping that actual EXQ, I'll probably wait just a little bit longer before my friend out here casts his custom EXQ, you know, or the bondable EXQ, however you want to call it. So anytime soon now, right? Come on. Because my limber break is okay. There you go. Gonna pop this real quick. Alright, gonna counter that. What? Okay. So in terms of that bondable EXO, so you guys saw that I took 2 hits because those were, you can kind of call them like, you know, yeet or like melee throw type EXQ. So they do not count as the actual bondable. So that's actually a very good testing for you guys in terms of like the quote unquote counter mechanics. So the only thing that's gonna get binded is actually the final animation where, you know, like dashing in towards me. But in terms of the actual, you know, those 2 EXQ, like those 2 hits, they don't count as quote unquote bindable. So that's actually a very good thing that you guys know. You guys may think like, oh, why did I still take damage? That's pretty much a good explanation because I'm not really binded into that animation yet, so it doesn't proc to it. So that's good. And then you guys saw that I was not knocked down during that duration, so that's why in terms of that counter mechanics, it was still activated. So that was definitely a very good showing for you guys. So I guess now I'll go in once again and then I'll try out the beam gun. I just want to see how hard it hits. So that is the build that we are looking at, and then we are looking at 196k. So it's in terms of my tag attribute, it is a little bit lower. So yeah, because some portrait or some parts that I have in there in terms of sub-slot are not 7-starred or it cannot be 7-starred yet, so that's why. But all right, so let's see what the beam gun, or yeah, the beam gun can do. Where's over here? Okay, I'll take that. Was that 900k and then 1 million? I'll definitely take that. So roughly you can get up to like a 200,000, or yeah, is it 2 million or is that 1 million? I think that's the thing. Yeah, I'll definitely take a 2 million magazine EXU. I think that should hit really hard, but I think that's gonna be pretty much it. So overall, in terms of this iteration of the Warfare Build Strike Gundam, is definitely really solid. The full package is definitely really solid. Portrait wise, I can definitely say for certain that some of you guys can definitely take advantage of it. But it's not even bad. Like these are actual, you know, modernized portrait, but their condition could be a little bit wonky, especially for the torso. And then for the gun, it is gonna dedicate it to your back part only, so that is being a little bit selfish. But overall, definitely very good in terms of the aesthetic. So if you guys do not have a full copy of the Build Strike full package, this is definitely gonna be the time to get that. But with that being said, that's gonna be pretty much it for me, and then I will be catching you guys on the next one.